Hey, this year I've decided I'm going to give music a proper crack. And what I mean by that is I've spent so many years kind of dancing around doing my music, but never actually really committing. For example, when I was younger, I desperately wanted to be involved in the music industry and I did everything I could to be involved. I hosted open mic nights. I started a recording studio business, Bunk Bed Beats. I ran a charity music festival, Busk for a Cure. I played live gigs as well. I did a bunch of cool electronic stuff. I did acoustic gigs. And of course I did post on socials too, but I never really did any of those things with a level of consistency, seriousness, commitment, and frankly risk that I now believe is required to really master something. I was spreading myself too thin. I looked at myself as not being a particularly risk-adverse person, but I actually was. And I guess I justified that self-image by the very fact that I was trying in music at all. But by doing so many different things in the industry, I simply didn't excel enough. I mean, in any one of those fields, you're competing against people who are committing their entire lives to just being a sound engineer, to just being a producer, to just being a marketer, music marketer, or a manager. I used to book live music venues as well, right? To just booking shows, that's their thing. I also burnt out. Not only was my time spread really thin, and this is an industry where you can spend a lot of time and not make a lot of money, but because a lot of those fields were maybe interesting to me, but not captivating, not passion-inducing, it's kind of wild that I kept that going for as long as I did. Now, it's not all bad, but it did all come to a head after COVID. The music industry hadn't recovered and business wasn't going great, and I just didn't have the drive anymore to really persevere or push through that. I fell out of love with music. So I went, okay, how can I make the most out of this situation? And long story short, I worked corporate for a few years. I still did a bit of music here and there. I continued to go in the studio sometimes, but all the pressure that I'd put on it evaporated. Suddenly I went from, if I don't have happy clients, I'm not getting paid, to there's a comfortable bank transfer coming into my bank account every fortnight, no matter what I do. And there were elements of that lifestyle that I really enjoyed: the security, the comfort, being able to explain pretty simply to people at events and parties or so, like what you do. It was quite pleasant. Being able to make medium to long-term financial plans because I actually knew how much money I was going to be getting every fortnight. That was unheard of. But that lifestyle did lose its charm. So that brings us to right now. I feel incredibly blessed to have had the experiences I have had because I've learned so much, and I have no doubt that having an understanding of all of those different facets of the music industry that I was involved in is going to come in handy as long as I persevere. I also feel a deeper sense of safety than I did before because now I actually have a proper corporate background, and if I want to go back to full-time work, I can, whereas before I didn't actually have a background. And as I'm sure you already know, it's pretty hard to get a conventional job if you don't already have experience in a given field, and it's a lot easier to do if you already have experience in that field. How I transitioned from being in music my whole life to working pretty well-paying corporate roles is a topic for another video. I think that could probably be helpful for a lot of people. I can't stress enough how important those few years away was for the revival of my passion for music. And not just the passion for it, but also the skills. So many nuanced listening and timing particularities just clicked into place with those couple of years off. It's as though my brain finally had the space to properly process a lot of the lessons that I had learned intellectually, but didn't really embody. So this is the first video of many. Writing music for me has always been a therapy. It's been a way of making sense of the world, a way of distilling 1,000 conflicting thoughts and all kinds of weird feelings into something beautiful. So watch out for more videos like this. If you're feeling it, show me some love with the comments, the likes, the shares, all that algorithm boosting stuff that I wish didn't matter but does. And let's see what little old me can pull off.